Hi, welcome back. I placed a Sephora order a couple weeks ago and I've been testing out some new launches and also just some random things that I decided to pick up that I just kind of like sparked my interest while I was browsing, and I thought you might want to hear some opinions on those things. I've been using them, like I said, for a couple weeks now, and a lot of these things I really like, and a lot of them are new launches. Also, a lot of you said that you really preferred my just traditional white backdrop from my last video when I talked about getting a new camera, so I'm trying to, mimic my old camera setup. So I hope this works out. But the first thing we're gonna start out with, this is something I've really been enjoying. It's the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Skin Tint. Now, I really like the Shiseido Synchro Skin Foundation, that traditional foundation. And I don't know why I haven't tried anything else from the Synchro Skin lineup. I haven't tried the concealer or the powder. They have been in my cart so many times, and then somehow I just talk myself out of it. Technically, do I need it? No. I do that often. I'll have stuff in my cart and then I just talk myself out of it. But Synchro Skin line really does have a good reputation. So this is just supposed to be, like the name says, a very lightweight skin tint, and I have really been enjoying it. I feel like I cannot see it on my skin. The shade I have is a little light. It's 125 Fair Astrid. I would definitely recommend, if you're similar to my skin tone, probably going up a shade. However, I noticed on the Sephora site that they were sold out of quite a few of the shades. So what I've been doing is actually just mixing my Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy serum. This is like a bronzer serum, and I do this with a lot of my lighter foundations, and it always works perfectly. It doesn't mess with the formula of the product, but it does darken it up a bit. So I've just been applying this with my hands. I still have a dermatitis or eczema flare-up happening, and this has just been a really good product to smooth out my skin, but not overwhelming my skin. I obviously don't feel like I'm masking my dermatitis because I think this is I have like 6 different types of eczema, so it's really hard to pinpoint which type is like occurring on my face, but I think this is my perioral dermatitis, and generally what's best for that I have found is wearing very minimal product and also using very minimal skincare. So this product has been really nice for that because it's really lightweight and breathable, and it does not adhere to these red patches you see on my skin. They're actually like super dry patches. So yeah, I just put this on and it just kind of smooths everything out, but doesn't adhere to anything. I'm also filming in 4K right now for the first time, so RIP to my pores, and I hope that this footage turns out. I hope I'm able to edit with this. I've never filmed in 4K before. Okay, I'm gonna wear this on my lips throughout the video because I have another lip color at the end that I want to pair with the whole look, but this is a new product from Makeup by Mario. It's the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. I got mine in the shade Bronze Glow. This reminds me of a lot of lip balms that are coming out recently. It is super soft and emollient, and it melts as soon as you put it on. I kind of have 50-50 mixed feelings about lip colors like this because they don't really last on the lips well, but they do feel really soft and moisturizing most of the time. I've worn this a couple times, and to me it really does feel like those just really melty lip balms. The Charlotte Tilbury one, off the top of my head, I can't think of what the exact name is. I think they also had Glow in the name, but this formula definitely reminds me of that. It's a really pretty shade, and it does have a little bit of like a plumping effect, but I just wanted you to see this, like the color and how it looks. So the shade is really pretty, and I do get a little bit of like a minty plumping effect. Does not last super long on the lips though, and despite it being like a balm, it's just so soft that it truly does feel like it's just melting around on my lips. So I don't feel like I have a ton of stability with it. But if you're into those really soft, I guess I would say like soft and maybe slippy lip formulas, then you may like it. So let's go ahead and move into some more complexion. I'm going to apply my Dior Forever Concealer just because I feel like I need a little bit of extra coverage around where my redness is and around where I have some dry patches. And I also want to bring a little bit of brightness back to my face. I know I'm going to get questions on this brush. If you are an OG subscriber of my channel, you will know where this brush came from. Or if you have just been buying Target makeup brushes for a long time, this was Target's Up and Up brush collection. And I have had this brush for so many years. And I love it. I love it for blending out concealer. Back in the day, it was kind of like my highlighter brush. But recently, I've picked it back up for concealer application. So, unfortunately, I don't think you can get this anymore. I would be shocked if you could. But, yeah, that's where it came from. Yeah, just a little bit of bonus coverage happening here. That's why I love the Dior concealer. I think it's so pretty. It meshes well with any type of base that I have underneath. So moving on, this is not a new release, but it's new to me. And again, one of those products that's kind of been in and out of my cart since it released, but it's the NARS Cream Bronzer, the Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. I got the darker shade Casino because I've just been liking darker bronzers for some reason. I had this Persona Sahara bronzer, love that one. I just find that generally they run a little bit more neutral, so they're not as orange or yellow on my complexion. I think it's Jamie Page that talks about this bronzer often, but it does have a very nostalgic beachy smell. Honestly, to me, if you're familiar with the Replica fragrances by Maison Margiela, this smells like there's two beachy scents, like By the Boardwalk and then Beach Walk. Maybe I'm thinking of the same scent, but I feel like there's two, and that's what this smells like to me. Very SPF banana boat vibes, but almost in a little bit more of like a fragrant way, a floral fragrant way. Anyways, I have been enjoying this, and as you can see, when it goes on, she's dark, but it blends out really well. It blends out seamlessly, and it really does a good job of defining my cheeks. I do have to run a little bit back into my hairline and also around my ear, but you'll see once I get this blended out, it just somehow magically kind of like transforms my skin. I'm super fair right now, and it kind of gives, you know, the faux tan appearance. It blends back into my hairline really well, and I'll be the first to admit I neglect my hairline a lot. I'll go back and watch my videos and I'm like, I don't know why people haven't started calling me out on my hairline, because sometimes I do neglect it. And then sometimes I swear makeup just doesn't stick to my hairline very well, so we'll just go ahead and blame it on that. Also love this with my skin tint because my skin tint is a little bit too fair for me. The Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. I think this was a new launch from Danessa Myricks. 4 lovely lip and cheek colors in here. There's also a palette for darker complexions. This one I do think is intended for more of like a light medium complexion, but you can kind of mix and match your colors in here. These pack a punch with pigment, and they also stain really well. I think I actually mixed these 2 colors and wore them on my lips one day and stayed on my lips. There was just a lovely stain happening on my lips all day. So the pigment is definitely there. And as you can see, I've kind of broke into this one. It's very creamy once you've broken the seal on these. So you have to be a little bit careful. But today, I'm actually using a Danessa Myricks Cream Color Fix on my eyes, and it's definitely in the pink category. So I think I'm going to, let's go ahead and mix this shade again with this one. I'm not really sure why. I just remember liking the combination of the two. So this is kind of what we've got going on the back of the hand. A nice little warm pink. I mean, immediate like color payoff instantly. Definitely a little goes a long way. And despite like the name being Dewy, like Dewy Lip and Cheek Palette, on my actual cheeks, I find that the tones actually lay pretty natural. She is pretty. She's very lovely. And I think that the way that the formula translates, it almost translates obviously as a little bit of a highlight too. So I can just completely skip that, which I do most days anyways. Gonna set with a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury, Airbrush Flawless, just kind of in this area. I hate to be shiny, especially when my dermatitis is flaring up, and under my eyes a bit. Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows on my eyes as usual. And speaking of Charlotte Tilbury, so let's talk about my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation review. I actually did a little TikTok where I was talking about how I was not pleased with it, and it slightly blew up. I say slightly, it didn't like go viral or anything, but had a lot of comments, and it just was, it's so interesting because it's split 50-50. Half of the people love it. Half of the people had the same experience as me. And a friend of mine, actually Daisy Cash here on YouTube, I know a lot of you are subscribed to her. We were talking about it, and she said she got a couple of different shades, and she thought that one of the particular shades were completely different than the other. And she said that it wasn't near as glowy. And she just didn't know if it was just her. She was just talking about how she wasn't really sure like what was going on, because it did seem like one of them was way more dewy than the other. Then I started seeing that same exact comment in my video. I saw a lady say, I don't know where like all of these glowy comments are coming from, because mine wasn't glowy at all. And so I'm starting to wonder like if certain shades might be more glowy, if certain shades might be formulated a little bit differently. I don't know what's going on. I ended up giving mine to my mom just for her to give me some feedback on. And also, I think she tends to be slightly darker than me, so I thought that number 4 shade would work really well for her. So waiting on her feedback. Next time I'm at Sephora, I think I might ask for a sample of number 3 or number 2 and just see if I can notice a difference like in the shades. So very conflicting reviews on that foundation. But when I say I absolutely cannot get down with it, I couldn't. I tried every single way, and it absolutely made my skin look horrible. Okay, gonna get a little bit closer here so we can focus on the eyes. I know my 4K is gonna be out here exposing like every pore in my skin. And you know what's interesting is I get accused a lot in my videos for using filters. Number 1, my old camera did not have that capability. Neither does the one I'm using right now that I'm aware of. I don't even know how to do that in an editing software. I don't even know if my editing software does that. But a lot of people, when they watch my videos, are like, I can tell you're using a filter. And I'm like, don't you think this would be like gone? Don't you think that like my frown lines would be gone? I would always just say, like, if I am, I'm doing a terrible job, because I can still see everything on my face. Okay, I'm using the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Cream in the shade Ballerina. Look at this. Oh, she's pretty. I saw Elle Pearls use this in a reel on Instagram, and this is actually what sparked the entire purchase for this video. My entire Sephora purchase was based off of this guy right here. And I think I'm going to pair it with my Charlotte Tilbury Exagger-eyes palette. A lot of you, I've been wearing this in videos a lot, and a lot of you have liked it. So I think I'm going to pair the two together. So what I've been doing is just taking a little bit of the Color Fix cream. These are super pigmented. A little goes a long way, like that much on the back of my hand. And this is just a really lovely like mauve pink. If you are darker than me, it's definitely gonna show up more mauve. Once I get it blended out, you'll definitely see that it almost looks like a true pink on my skin tone. But I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And Alana, the girl that I was inspired to purchase this because of, she has definitely a little bit of a darker complexion than me, and this just looks stunning on her. Like, look at it. Oh my gosh. So honestly, this looks really pretty by itself. I've been wearing it by itself on a daily basis, but I also think that the kind of reddish mauve tone in the Charlotte Tilbury palette enhances it. So I'm going to use that as a little bit of a deeper liner just to kind of like enhance my lash line a bit. I might even go in with a bit of a darker brown too. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a deeper brown. So I'm going to take my MAC Semi-Sweet x9 palette, and I'm just going to maybe mix these two shades right here together. This is kind of serving me like anime, Euphoria vibes. I don't watch Euphoria. I'm too old for it. I tried to watch it when it came out. I don't know, it's been several years, like, right? Probably at least 3 years since that show came out. I tried to watch it and I was like, what is happening here? Don't get me wrong, my high school experience was not super normal. There were a lot of things that definitely should not have happened at my high school that happened. But Euphoria was like on another level. So I just could not relate. And I just see like Euphoria makeup tutorials on TikTok now. So that's why I said this is kind of giving me like a Euphoria vibe. But I'm telling you, if you have something pink that you want to match your makeup with, this Danessa Myricks pigment is, I mean, the way to go. Okay, I've removed my lip and we're gonna do a full-on NARS lip today. This has been a favorite of mine lately as far as lip liner goes, and I've had this for several months, but it's the NARS Precision Lip Liner in the shade Vence. Then I did get one of the new NARS, these are the, I think, Afterglow Lip Shines. I got mine in the shade Chelsea Girls, which is kind of like an iconic color. I've always really enjoyed that color in their lipstick and their other gloss formula, so I went ahead and got it. And then these aren't new. I had to take my camera out of 4K because my memory card was full, and apparently my secondary memory card is not compatible. So that's why the view suddenly looks a little bit different. But the last thing I was talking about is the NARS Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm, and this is in the shade Restricted. I have the Afterglow lip balms, but I've never tried the matte ones. So I'm gonna use these 3 products as my lip combo. Okay, I think I'm finished. And like I said, I have been ultra pleased with all of the stuff that I picked up. Primarily those Danessa Myricks products, gorgeous. I love the Shiseido skin tint. I think that obviously it can be done up a little bit more like I'm wearing it today. But really I've just been wearing it as kind of like my everyday, just throw on quick application product because it's not enhancing of any of my dry areas or dermatitis. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these products in action. I think they're gorgeous. Let me know if you have tried any, what your experience is. And yeah, I'm still curious about my Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I don't understand, just so mixed. So I just feel like there has to be some inconsistencies in the formula maybe, or I don't know, maybe the general consensus is love hate. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.